To Nick and Norma's. It's our favorite time of year, and we're going to be cooking with you some of the things you'll find on our table these holidays. So today, what we're going to be making is a garlic and herb crusted prime rib. This is a meat. Usually we cook it in a whole piece of meat. We try to get about a 5-pound or something like that. It should serve maybe about 7 guests. A couple steps that I did do already to this is yesterday when we purchased it, I did give it a rub in just salt and let it sit in the fridge overnight. And then I took it out about an hour and 15 minutes ago, just so that it can start to get into a room temperature before we do start to cook it. So let's get into what we'll need for this meal. We did, and I pre-measured everything, but I minced up about a tablespoon of onion salt, 2 tablespoons of chopped up rosemary. You have 2 tablespoons of thyme, 1 single tablespoon of some ground pepper, and then we put 2 tablespoons of salt, which we use pink Himalayan. We just grind it ourselves. And then in addition to that, you'll need 1 cup of butter softened. I did kind of forget to pull the butter out, so I melted it a little bit, but you don't want it to be melted, just softened so that you can get a good rub on the meat. So first what we're going to do is we're going to make the rub. I did preheat the oven to 180 degrees. This is going to be a long steak, should take about 5, maybe 6 hours in the oven. So once we rub it, we'll set it into the rack here, and we'll just be able to place it, and that's it. It's simple and delicious. Thank you. I had to grab a whisk. So first what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of give our butter a good whip here. We want it to be soft, again, not melted, but we want to be able to mix all the herbs and stuff right into it. So you can see here it's got a good little consistency, good and soft, and we're going to just add in our ingredients. We'll just do it one at a time. So we'll add in the salt, give it a good whip, add in our pepper. Again, that's 2 tablespoons salt, 1 tablespoon of pepper, and you can kind of see how it's getting that nice herby butter look. And we'll get our ground up thyme, and we had thyme, but we used a molcajete, and I grind it up. So some ground thyme. You can use fresh or like a McCormick or something like that. It's really up to you how you prefer to do it. Oh, it's starting to smell good. Okay. And then with the garlic cloves, again, you can use this little more, little less, depending on what you like for your taste, and then also the size of each clove. But yeah, this is one of my favorite things. We usually do this for Christmas, or add it to a side on Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving, depending on how many guests we plan on having. But this is honestly, I look forward to this all year round. Sometimes we make it in addition, but it's always going to impress your guests once you get this out on the table. Okay, then we have some onion powder, a tablespoon of that. You can see that the butter's kind of getting like a thick, grainy consistency to it, which is good because that's going to help us rub it. And the reason we put the salt on the meat last night is it kind of helps break down the meat a little bit. And it's going to allow all these herbs and spices to kind of soak into the meat better as it cooks. Just giving it a little prep. And then now for the garlic. Looks like we missed a piece. I'm just going to scoop that in there. Give everything a good little whip, and then I do like to just let it go into the freezer for maybe like a minute, couple minutes, just to get it a little bit harder. After this point, I see it's a little bit more runny than what I would like. That's it right there. So you can kind of see the consistency we're looking for here. Alright, great. Thanks for coming back, guys. So you can see our butter's a little bit harder. Our butter's a little bit harder now, just letting it sit for a couple minutes. And we have our steak here. This is approximately 5 pounds, maybe a little over. And what we're going to do, normally I have gloves for this, but we ran out. But what I'm going to do, hi babe.
Hi babe, did I catch you at a good time or were you recording?
I'm recording, but you're going to have to edit this conversation out of the phone now. Or off the camera. Alright, so welcome back. As you can see, our butter got a little bit more firm. As you can see, the butter's a little more firm now. And what we're going to do is we're going to just lather it all over all sides of this meat, stick it on the rack, and then we'll just let it, we'll throw in our thermometers and then let it sit. I do highly recommend using a thermometer in this meal. We're using just the old school kind right now. We're just going to put the 2 probes in, but I do have my eyes on a Bluetooth one, which I thought was really nice. So we're just going to kind of just spread it. And don't feel bad about doing it real heavy. You're really trying to get a good crust on this. And a lot of it's going to melt into the pan anyways, so it's going to get a good crust over it, and then it should hopefully lifted up, so everything that falls off, it kind of just turns into like almost like steam, I guess, and it just cooks through the meat that way. So, as you can see, we really just lathered it on there, and what we're going to do now is I'm going to get a couple, I'm going to use corn on the cob holder since I don't have gloves, and I'm just going to lift it, place it into the pan. I'll show you how we insert the thermometers, and that's it. Okay. So as you can see, we used a V-rack with a roasting pan, and it sits up on this rack right here, which is perfect for it to get a good crust all the way around. We will set the thermometers. I do one on each side. We kind of think of, with this one it has strings attached, so I try to think of how I'm going to place it into the actual oven there, but we're just going to get it, and you kind of want to get them to the tip to the middle. You want to get the tip of the thermometer into where the middle of the meat's going to be, so you can get the best reading. And then I try to put one from each side, just so that we can make sure it's thorough. It's a thorough reading we'll get. Get that good temperature. Alright, so we're getting a read on both. So then I'm just going to take these and set them into our oven real nice. Set the thermometer up here, and that'll be able to cook. Again, it's going to take about 5 hours, 6 hours. This will just go off whenever it's ready, which makes it a lot easier for us. And if you didn't catch earlier, the temperature of the oven is set to 180. Alright, and that is how we are going to do our prime rib roast for today. Thank you for watching. We'll be back later on today to show you how it comes out.